Hey YouTube, Gundam here, welcome back to Space Engineers. I know, so many so fast, but I'm working on a new ship. It's a cruiser, because battleship's going to be twice this big, at least wide, and notably longer. This is a cruiser I'm working on, a heavy cruiser, so yeah. This has to go for it. As you can see on the right is the Mark I Dragonfly. On the left is the Mark II. What are the differences between the Mark I and the Mark II? Well, if you notice, the Mark II is slightly not as wide. You know, you see them to them here. The antenna is the antenna ends at that point. That's the end of the ship, which is here. So that is 4 blocks shorter on each side. So 8 blocks, which is more than one mid-size block, more than one large block. So it's not a small difference. Okay, it is kind of small, but it's a little bit bigger. Obviously, one difference is the color. There's a major difference in color, which actually that reminds me I need. Nope, those can't be adjusted. Okay. Okay. So yeah, another difference is color. Also, on the tip here, you go from the Gatling gun to the scatter gun. Same with in the middle here, which just shot me. Now, also, there's a couple of extra landing gear here on the bottom. There's some additional thrusters added onto the bottom, and additional thrusters added for the top. Not very many though, but there's a few. There's a very small few, but there's a few. What is added in is these rockets. 4 of these, I forget what they're called, Anacondas and Viper. Okay, these are the Viper rocket pods. There's 4 of them, and these are the Anaconda rocket pods. There's 6 of them. They're quad launchers. Other than that, the rest is the same besides the color. A couple other minor changes to help reduce the weight with all these new weapons. The weight, 139,394 for the Mark II. Go to the Mark I, and you have 135,911. So it weighs about 4,000-ish, well, 3,500 more. That's not a whole lot, given the fact of all these additional weapons and additional thrusters. It is actually a lot faster. So, and it's a little more stealthy. Not much though. Good luck with that. So, fire the guns. Scatter cannons look like this. Good view on the scatters. The rockets, the Vipers, do be careful. They do detonate premature to the target. They do a lot of damage. They're supposed to be more spread out. The standard rockets, of course, as you should know. Button 4 is the big cannons. Meh. Button 5 is those cannons, which you should know by now. Button 6 is the new Anacondas. Only 4, then you gotta reload, and they go far. With the additional weight, only 3,500 kilos over the Mark I. Actually, and the additional thrusters, going forward and backwards, side to side, up and down, is actually not that bad. Especially with a couple extra thrusters to the side here. And a lot more thrusters in the rear. As for the front, I can't remember where I put more thrusters. There's a few there, as you can see. I believe that's all of them, yeah. So 4 additional thrusters for the front, a huge array of thrusters for the back, a few for the top, a good amount for the bottom. Okay, not that many. And there's a handful like right there. I believe, yeah. Yeah, they are there. You can take a look at the 2 of them in Steam. You just have to download them both. So, same amount of gyros, even though I want to put in more. I was thinking about taking out the big 88s, but it really signifies this ship. And being a darker color, it's not going to be so easy to see in comparison to the other. Again, the antennas are turned off. You can turn them back on, and don't forget the remote controls. That is a notable feature. Now, one of the reasons for this vessel, oh, I like how they're all the way in the back, like really, really tiny rockets. The only thing is, there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them. They don't always hit each other. It's good. And the whole point of this is to do a ton of damage very quickly. The other one's more for long fighting. This one's do a ton of damage. You don't need to worry about the rocket pods or these rockets, as they are supposed to reload at a base. All of these weapons reload mid-flight. Also, you don't have to worry about the Gatling guns, you just have these scatter cannons everywhere, which means you don't have to divide between the ammo types, depending on which one you think you're going to use more. Just fill up a bunch of those. 88's still there, and the other cannons, the good cannons here, right there. And then of course you have your rockets here on the top. So all you gotta worry about for ammo choices are scatter cannons, the 88s, the rockets on top, and the light cannons, instead of throwing in also Gatling guns and having to sort between 4 of those and 2 of those. You reduce the number of problems you have to deal with it. So that frees up some hassle. It does mean some more time in the ship waiting to sortie again, but that's okay. By the way, that ship has a ways to go. Let's take this thing for a little spin. You see, maneuverability is top notch. One should expect that. Well, there could be a few more gyros, but there's a good amount of thruster power. As you can see, that ship needs a lot of work. But they'll P for the inside. They'll stop. You have side thrusters are lacking on this thing. Forward and back are top notch. But with the smaller sides, they can easily fit inside. This is the fighter bay. The top is for support craft. And the launch bay. Whee! I'd say be extremely careful firing these while turning. Same with these, although they're not that bad. Really, the anacondas, which is button 6, are only to be used at the end of a battle. When everything else is done. Not the most maneuverable thing in the world. I'm prepping an interceptor for that. But if you can master it, it'll definitely do you some good. Yeah, I am working on an interceptor, but it's got a ways. They'll be able to maneuver a lot more than this and be very, very quick. Oh, that would hurt. That would really, really hurt. So, the Dragonfly Mark II. In case you're wondering, I'm already thinking of a Mark III, but I want to see what people think of the Mark II. High maneuverability, and yet it's smaller. I should add a couple more gyros. But there. The Mark II. With the prep of a new cruiser inbound. That'll be the heavy cruiser. After that, I have a battleship, and then I'll worry about something a bit bigger. We'll see you later. Cruiser first. Catch you later.